What's up, everybody? My name is Ian Carpenter. This mat is probably, I'm a heathen for this, but I'm also a dope nerd for this. This is a gift from my brothers. This token was also a gift from my brothers. My favorite card, Spell Striker, and Snorlax is a planet. Speaking of planets, all planets, at least are, well, not all planets. Only some planets have weather systems. Until I ran weather painters. I wanted to run a rogue deck, something that was different, something that just appealed to my style of dueling, both aesthetically and in style, and I wanted to kind of surprise people. And so this is weather painters. 3 snow, starter for the deck, gotta run 3. 3 cloud. Cloud, you have to run 3 now because the effect with forecast, the field spell, you can use your spell and traps to link summon. If you have this on the field with 3, you then add 2 of them back, and it makes your board, when you pass it to your opponent, hopefully turn 1, that much more better and harder to deal with. 3 thunder, because it's another name. Frankly, you don't really use the effect, but I found that there's not a lot of good weather painter cards, and so the last ones are Sun and Aurora. Aurora is pretty good, but you have to tribute summon it, so it's just not that good. I felt that running both of these cards, it came every once in a while. Sun, if it's in grave, you can send a continuous spell trap to the grave to special summon it. Then you can normal summon Aurora, Sun goes away, and there's just different things you can do there. Or if there's already a Sun, you can tribute it and then special summon it back. And you have to have the weather painted monsters on field to make the canvases worth it at all. So running as many of these as possible, I felt was important. So that's it for monsters in the main. Literally just weather painters. Spells, this is the best card in the deck. Forecast and 1 terraforming. Forecast is super busted. Allows you to use spell and trap cards to link summon, so it just breaks the game. So that's pretty cool.
A custom card printer, here you go.
Yeah, it allows you to normal summon twice. They're basically just like, yeah, do whatever you want. 3 snowy canvas is the best canvas. It's another starter. You add a weather card to hand, and then 1 raining canvas. It's the best spell card other than snowy, and you still want to run a certain number of canvas cards because being able to just play a canvas card for free, especially if you have forecast, is basically summoning a monster to link summon. So it's really important. 3 Puri Resmap. I guess I tested Extravagance as well because both you have to activate at the start of your main phase 1. They didn't go well together. I opted for the Puri Resmap because I felt that it was, even though you have to pay life points, which is a weakness of this deck, I felt it was more important to just add the snow, the card you want, than take the chance of drawing 2 cards you don't want to see. Triple Tactics Talent. Also, I didn't run Extravagance because technically this is supposed to be like a draw power card. Not as maybe live as Extravagance is, but potentially more powerful. You get hand trapped and you can still plus off of it. And then 1 call by because this deck is still certain hand traps, or getting hand trapped snowy with certain hands can hobble you. And so just, it's a great card. Traps. I'm like the only person in the tournament who really ran a trap deck, which is kind of fun. But 2 thundery canvas, 2 rainbowed canvas. I can get those closer for you. I sided out 1 of these rainbowed canvas every once in a while. It'll make sense with the side deck, but yeah, I think 4 traps and 4 spells for the canvases was correct. You want to have multiples of these because you're going to search 1 and then send 1 to grave, but you still want 1 in deck. So this was correct. 3 Torrential was good against most decks. You can run it very easily because you banish for cost with weather painters. 3 Strike is a good card. 2 Judgment. When I talk about what I would do differently, I might up that to 3, but life points I was really worried about because it does hobble you. Like Puri Resmap halves your life points. Strike, you're down to 25, so you pass turn with 25 life points, and so if they do out your board, it's pretty easy to kill. But in case they do, I ran 2 Drowning Mirror Force, which I did resolve. I felt that Drowning was not only spicy, but impactful, and a lot of deck profiles I saw didn't run the card, but I still feel like it's just an interaction where there's a lot of destruction, protection, but not a lot of like, yeah, return it to deck, like everything. And it's pretty easy to manipulate your field, or if something goes wrong, it's a nice fail safe. So I ran 2, so I could draw it. 1, you probably aren't going to see it. That was kind of the spice. Another spice, Floodgate Trap Hole. Honestly, I'd probably up that to 2. It's a busted card. Monsters Summit, it's set forever, and like people just don't know what to do because it just makes really awkward boards for your opponent. Like they summon monsters, like no, it's set forever. Sorry, no, you can't even look at it. And then 1 Metaverse. Metaverse was the field spell is so important that I felt like going first, it's really good in the main because you can add it to hand if you want to, but because Forecast has an activated effect, you flip Metaverse, you activate Forecast, you get a canvas, and it's almost like getting it for free. So now you have another canvas and interaction. So I felt like it was really strong. That's the main deck. Extra deck. I guess I'll talk. Things I would change about the main deck is trap stuff. I didn't want to run floodgates. I made a conscious decision because I've been so anti-floodgates for 10 years that in the decade of dueling deck list, even though I'm running a road deck, I was like, you know what? I can't run floodgates. Now that I've done this for year 10, if I run this next year, you're going to see 3 skill drain, you're going to see a dimensional fissure, and you're going to see a macrocosmos. And it's gonna be really good. And probably 3 anti-spell or something like that because the deck just doesn't care. And it would be pretty spicy. Extra deck. 3 Weather Painter Rainbow and 3 Moonbow. Nothing else I'm about to show you after this really matters because you really just summon these guys. But the artwork's just beautiful. These basically act as canvases. Rainbow is super impactful. Sometimes you go into Moonbow, they destroy the Moonbow, Moonbow splashes into Rainbow. So they're really cool cards. They'd be even better if they were Link 2s, but I get why they're Link 3s. This stuff, I don't know, Boral Sword, Boral Load, Unicorn, Phoenix, Cerberus, Underclock Taker, Levier the Sea Dragon. Because everything's banished as cost, there's some interactions where if the effect gets negated because they're banished as cost, they stay banished. It could be spicy to bring it back. Who knows? Fortune Tune. I actually summoned that once. And then Nightmare Shark. I did summon this once as well because technically OTK, like if you get them down to less than 2,000, you just overlay and attack the game. That was the extra deck, but you don't really care. The whole part and soul is the Weather Paint stuff. Side deck. I'm really proud of my side deck this year. I haven't understood the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For probably 8 years. And so this, I don't even understand how planets work. So, this side deck is super simple, but my strategy with the main deck side deck, I'm really proud of. It totally worked. My side deck, like, worked totally. 3 D-Shifter, 3 Ash, 2 Gamma Seal, Change of Heart, Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Twin Twisters, and 3 Regeki. I sided 15 cards almost every time. I just sided out all the trap cards. So the strategy was basically going first, I'd rather have trap cards to set strike, like set up 1 or 2 Omni Negates with a strike. Going second, let me just completely stop you and or wipe your board, steal your thing. I don't want to draw a trap card going second. So it totally worked. I never sided less than 13 cards. And it totally worked. I never was like, oh, bummer. Like, Twin Twisters put in work. Harpy's Feather Duster put in work. I D-shifted and ashed Aiden on the same turn. I Gamma Sealed looped Lucas because there's a cool thing with Weather Painters with the Thundery Canvas card, which turns your monsters into Grand Mole. So you Kaiju, Grand Mole the Kaiju back to your hand. Next turn, you Kaiju them again, attack, add it to hand. And so I Kaiju'd him 3 times and just won. So my side deck was great. I wouldn't really change anything. In general, I'm disappointed with how I did this year. My placing wasn't great. I felt like I built my deck pretty well. Going forward, I would definitely change some things. I don't think I had my deck list completely optimal, but it worked really. It was effective. I didn't play the deck optimally in the moment at times, and those are just learning experiences. And there's a little specifically against Nathan and Jack. I think those were 2 matchups that I was in a in control state and lost control based on me not playing me not playing optimally. And if you're playing a rogue deck against something like Tri Brigade or Brave ABC, you have to play optimally or you will lose because they just have more. So I didn't play optimally, I lost. But the deck functioned exactly as designed. Proud of it. Fun to be at year 10. And I have a shout out to my fiance, Angelina Donaldson. She's never going to watch this. So,
Well.
both of these nuts. Oh!